We Make Movies Film Geeks podcast, episode number 78. Welcome to the We Make Movies podcast, making the world a better place, one film at a time. And now, here are your hosts, otherwise known as the director, the actress, and who the hell is that guy? Chad, Michelle, and Garrett. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another We Make Movies Film Geeks podcast, the podcast that's all about how to get your movie made, how to get it seen by other people, and how to get it awesome. I am your host, Garrett Robinson. With me, as always, faithful co-host Chad Kukihiko. You dropped the face right as I put the camera on you, Chad. I was trying to move through that intro so fast to get to you. The moment's gone. And Michelle Lucadoo.
I never dropped the face.
We are all of us independent filmmakers and
Speak for yourself!
We Make Movies filmmaking community in Los Angeles, California. Hey guys, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Is anybody having some kind of special occasion today? Is anything special going on?
I don't know.
What's happening?
Might be my birthday.
Yay! Happy birthday to you. We don't have to do the rest.
Wow.
I was just saying.
Happy birthday,
Mr. President. I'm actually wearing my little birthday hat right now.
You are.
I'm wearing my birthday suit below the camera.
Whoa, hey now.
Hey now. Well, happy birthday, Michelle.
Happy birthday,
You
Michelle.
turned 22, right? Because you've been able to drink for the last year. And
Yes,
you're
yes.
still able to. That's
Yes.
correct.
My brother doesn't have birthdays anymore. He has anniversaries of his 21st birthday. I believe he's probably on his 21st anniversary coming up. So
That's fantastic.
yes.
Good for him.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's get into the show. As always, if you are watching this live, please feel free to comment on the YouTube channel or tweet us at #WeMakeMovies, and we will respond to questions and comments on the air live. If you tweet us dick pics, we will not respond on the air, but I will definitely respond in real time.
But if you comment on the YouTube, we can actually post it.
Now.
Yeah.
So we can actually.
Jesus, I did just invite a lot of. Anyway.
if allow me to finish.
Okay.
If you comment live on YouTube, we will be able to show your comment and comment on it like we would any other. But show it, which is cool.
If we think it's good.
Yes.
If we don't, then we'll make fun of it after we go off the air.
We will. We do that frequently. No, we've never done that before. Have we? Maybe once.
We make fun of things all the time.
We'll jump right into the topics for the week, and I'm starting off. I'm not going to earn any fans with this one, and I don't know if either of you guys have seen it already, but I finally saw the Lego Movie yesterday. What a piece of shit.
You have no taste.
I am aggressive. I mean this so sincerely. I fucking hated this movie. Now, I'm sure I would have merely disliked it. In fact, after 20 to 25 minutes, I wanted to just turn it off. But not having seen the Lego Movie, as both a nerd and a parent, makes me a social pariah in two groups that I am very fond of. So I
and
had
now a
to,
third.
I had to finish the movie. No, get out. So I had to watch it, which is why I aggressively hate it, because everybody talks about it like it's the greatest thing that's ever happened to animated films, like it's the next Toy Story or How to Train Your Dragon or something like that. So I had to watch this shit show all the way to its terrible ending with its stupid-ass jokes that it repeats 19 times. Actual count. There was one joke that I started counting, which it's not an original joke. They just jacked it off of somebody else. It's the whole. And
Did they jack it off him?
Yes, they did.
Oh.
There's no way blah is gonna happen, and blah immediately happens. That joke is used 19 times in this stupid fucking movie, and it's not funny. Any of those.
funny.
Oh my God!
I'm just gonna say, you deserve it. Because you actually paid real live money to see a movie called The Lego Movie.
So
you
you
know
haven't
what
seen it
Legos
either.
are, right? So
Yeah.
Legos are like inert blocks of plastic.
Right.
So whoever decided that that was a really good idea to make these...
Neither of you should be talking because A, the movie's hilarious.
It's not.
And B, it's hilarious.
It's not even a little bit.
So there it is. So there.
Inert plastic objects can be fantastic fare for a movie. Toy Story is a perfect example. And here's the thing. You can see where Lego Movie could have been good, could have been really good. It had this great thing where you've got all these different properties. You've got Batman in it. You've got spaceships, T-Rexes, other superheroes, aliens, Star Wars. Oh my God!
Are they all built out of Legos?
Yes.
Are they like actual like Legos that are like blocks that are like I am a Lego?
96%. 96%.
Do they like lay on top of each other in like a little Lego orgy to make like a dinosaur?
And here's the thing.
Wow.
Michelle, just stop. You both, come on. You guys, let's just stop. Michelle, first of all, if you see it, you will enjoy it. 96% of the people in the world enjoy it. For the record.
I'm fine with being in the correct 4%.
Unless it's South Park, I do not do animated at all.
Oh, well, that's a shame. There's some really, really good animated movies out there. But point is, I could rant about the movie for an hour, but in the interest of time, I will just tell one little story, one tiny little thing. About 10 minutes in, and remember, I don't know anything about this film going in other than it is Legos.
And that everybody loves it.
And everybody in the fucking world loves it. About 10 minutes in, I look over at my wife and I say, oh my God, she doesn't know anything about the movie either. I say, oh my God, this is like a terrible Will Ferrell version of a good Pixar film. And then the movie progresses, and it is Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell is the main bad guy, and he's got a whole live-action section near the end of the movie, and his fingerprints are all over this film, which isn't necessarily...
And Will Ferrell is so not funny. Nobody
isn't
thinks
necessarily
Will
a bad
Ferrell is
thing,
funny.
but in this case, it really, really was. He's made some shitty movies, okay? He's made some really bad movies. He's also made some really, really funny movies, but they're all the same. And because they're all the same, they get really tiresome. Oh my God, they really, really are.
All the same.
Absolutely,
we're still talking about the Lego Movie.
It's a great movie.
It's almost like this is a podcast. It's almost like this is a podcast that's specifically to talk about films. It's almost like that. It's very weird.
Legitimate film.
I know, crazy. It's crazy we were talking about a movie.
Crazy we're still talking about the Lego Movie.
96%.
Film Geeks.
96% on Rotten Tomatoes.
96% of the people that decided to spend actual money to see said movie. I don't think we're ever. I think we're just going to have to agree to disagree.
So if you hated the Lego Movie, you're not alone. So we have three very differing opinions here. Chad saw it and loved it. I saw it and fucking hated it. And Michelle is like, you're both stupid for seeing this movie. So
also, if she's never seen a Pixar movie, for the record, is like should turn in her filmmaker card because
absolutely, Pixar is some of the best goddamn.
I didn't say I don't see them. I said I don't do them.
So you don't have sex with your actual movies with the physical copy of the DVD?
I can't say I've ever had sex with a movie myself.
I don't enjoy them. I don't enjoy talking about them. I don't enjoy them. Yeah, no.
Oh, come on. Like, what?
You never enjoyed a Pixar movie?
The world just turned upside down. The world just turned upside down. What the hell is happening here? First of all, Garrett is saying the Lego movie's bad, which is insanity. And Michelle is saying Pixar movies are not worth your time, which is what is happening? Is this like the backwards show?
Pixar movies. I'm just saying that I, as a person, do not enjoy animated films.
I suppose that's fine. That's like me saying that I don't enjoy horror films. It's not that I've never seen a horror film that I thought was a legitimately good piece of filmmaking. I just don't enjoy them.
But Pixar has been
Cars, Toy Story. Yeah, great. Nice work, Pixar. But I was like, oh my God, when is it over?
You have no soul. I'm sorry. The first 10 minutes
That's part
of
my charm.
The first 10 minutes of Up is like the most heartbreaking, amazing
Up is
filmmaking I've ever seen.
Okay, good. So she liked Up. There you go.
I didn't say I liked Up. I said I respect Up as a...
I'm hanging up. I do a show about film with two people who have zero taste.
The worst part
of what the crap is happening?
Here, you're gonna love this. The worst part of the whole experience is that my kids fucking loved this movie, so I know I'm going to have to watch it again.
It's good to know at least your genes have some taste in them.
No, every single time they ask for the Lego Movie, I'm gonna put Big Hero 6 on instead because there's a quality fucking movie.
Big Hero 6 is great. It is also a better movie. But Lego is funny. The Lego movie's funny. Of course it's out there, and the ending I'm not super crazy about, but I enjoy it and it's fun, and that's all. Like, I don't know what you were seeing. I don't even know. Like, you're explaining things and I'm like, what are you talking about? It was hilarious. It's insane and hilarious.
Guys,
and you check your mind at the door. It's freaking Legos.
We're still talking about the Lego Movie.
I check my mind at the door for animated. I check my mind at the door for animated films, and yet a lot of animated films still manage to be good storytelling.
Because Pixar is amazing. Pixar is like one of the
DreamWorks. DreamWorks does awesome, and I don't know who's Universal does. Universal does Despicable Me. Despicable Me is a great series.
But everybody's trying to play catch up to Pixar. I mean, not that Pixar hasn't done
for sure.
Planes, Trains, and Automobile. What the crap that Cars was, but. Yeah. But everything else. I mean, Incredibles. I saw Incredibles 3 times in the theater.
Yeah.
In the first week. I love that movie.
It's incredible. It's so amazing. So
Michelle, just.
All right. Well, Michelle,
I don't know how anybody could be worse than Garrett on this, and somehow, Michelle, you are making me want to kill you even more.
We have a couple of different things real quick. In the comments, Valentina V says, I'm listening and working. Also, Garrett, how dare you not like the Lego Movie? Well, I don't like bad movies. I don't know what to say.
Thank you, Valentina.
She also says, happy birthday, Michelle.
Aww,
we're about to get our revenge, though, because Michelle is about to talk about book trailers on YouTube. So why don't you tell us about that, Michelle, and then I'll tell you all the ways that you're wrong.
What's interesting is if you actually looked at the spreadsheet, it does say my opinion on it. Well, okay, so I had a friend ask me to do a favor to shoot this thing, and she's like, it's a book trailer. I'm like, what the hell is a book trailer? So I did a little research, and there are so many book trailers all over. Like, it's the new thing. Like, nobody actually puts out people generally don't, like, put out a book without a book trailer these days, apparently. It's like a thing. If you go, I was watching...
This is what you're talking about, and you're trolling talking about an actual movie? I mean, this is what... You cannot troll a conversation about a movie and then start talking about this. I mean, come on.
I'm saying
at least segue into, like, I know I've been trolling, I know I've been talking smack about a movie, but however, at least segue, move me up a little. You know?
Yes, well, you know what? We are actually talking about movies. I'm talking about movies. I'm talking about the fact that I don't like animated films. It's not my favorite thing in the world. I would rather see something.
All right, continue. I just had to call it out.
Where there are people doing things, like actual people. There are people in book trailers. People. Like,
wait. Sorry, one quick thing. This is hilarious. Garrett?
Yes.
Tell us on the doll where Will Ferrell touched you. That's from Kendall in the comments.
I just want to say for the record that I have enjoyed some Will Ferrell movies, and the first Will Ferrell movie.
Magnanimous of you. Thank you for your graciousness. I mean, that's.
But he has
hilarious.
made some really, really, really bad movies, and all of his movies do kind of remind me of. He's like a not terrible Adam Sandler, where it's like they're all pretty much the same movie.
He's hilarious,
and there's some really good movies in there. And there's a lot of real bad ones.
You can't come on.
I'm with Garrett on the Will Ferrell.
Absolutely.
I am absolutely with Garrett on the Will Ferrell.
Stranger than fiction. Not only is it funny, but it's fantastic as a film. And he's good, and he's not just funny in that. He's also touching.
Yeah, totally. I agree with you. It's almost like I just said that Will Ferrell's made a lot of really good movies.
You didn't say really.
He's made some really good movies. I absolutely just said that. I just compared him to Adam Sandler, who has also made some really good movies.
He's made some good movies. That's how you said it.
Okay.
I think he's made some good movies.
We'll replay the tape.
All right, are we going to talk about book trailers now?
Sure we are.
After you trolled us? I mean, holy cow. What are you drinking? Drinking. All right. I feel like... Okay, continue with the book trailers, because this is...
Well, I'm just saying that I'm saying that this is an exciting opportunity for filmmakers, specifically of the indie persuasion, to get jobs, to get... Chad!
I'm sorry, I'm trying to stop laughing. I am trying.
Have you seen book trailers on YouTube, Chad?
Why would I see book trailers on YouTube?
I
read books.
Because people could actually, like, pay you good money as a filmmaker to make their book trailer.
Oh, breathing. Okay, continue. Just continue.
Shall I take over on the topic? Because I have some insight on this.
I'm saying that it is interesting. It is an interesting new niche for filmmaking and or trailer making and or shooting things and being paid to shoot things and edit things and act in things, and it is becoming a huge trend. A trend that us as people that make content on camera should know about and potentially take advantage of in the industry. This is what I'm saying.
You're talking to actors.
No.
So you think actual filmmakers are actually getting paid for this stuff?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, they absolutely are. Okay, here I will now interject, being a self-published author who knows quite a lot about book trailers. Book trailers, fantastic opportunity for filmmakers. They do nothing for authors. They're one of the worst marketing tools you can possibly use, especially if you spend money on them. If you do them, they are a fun thing to share with your fans. They will not get you new readers. They will not get you new readers in proportion to the amount of time and effort you will spend on them. Every biggest books podcast in the world, from the self-publishing podcast, who are friends of mine, to the Creative Pen podcast, to the Rocking Self-Publishing podcast, to the Sell More Book Show. All of these are like podcasts that I listen to very regularly. All of them are big-time self-published authors. All of them have tried book trailers. None of them have seen any results, nor have they like heard from anybody that has. Like there isn't a book trailer success story in publishing. There are, of course, book trailers for books that have been very successful from publishing houses. Like traditional publishing will often produce book trailers, will almost always produce book trailers for best-selling books, but they succeed because they're best-selling books. Like there's no linkage between the trailer and the thing. It's a cool thing for the audience, but it's not a sales generator. And unfortunately, there's a lot of really scammy vanity presses and self-publishing service sellers, I think it's called Author Solutions. And the Author Solutions, if I'm naming it right, I really hope I'm not getting the name wrong, because I don't want to badmouth somebody who's innocent. Author Solutions is like one of the worst vampiric, just evil corporations that preys on people who wants to buy a book, charges them to publish their book for them, and doesn't really provide any service. Ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. And we're talking tens of thousands of dollars, and they have a book trailer package for $50,000, in which they will produce a 2-minute trailer for your book, and that's it. They won't put it on a big YouTube channel. They won't promote the trailer. They will give you a 2-minute book trailer over which you have no say or creative control. So it's
as a writer. Mm-hmm. I think that's, potentially not a great option. But if you're dumb enough to throw $50,000, freaking take advantage of it. Like, sure,
that's so we make movies of you. That's so entirely we make movies of you.
I'm just saying. I live in a capitalistic society.
Quality means overcharging people for quality work. That's investment.
On the other, if someone does have
make money while you make it,
throw towards it, then sure, why not? And they don't have the resources, and no, it's not the best idea, absolutely not. But I'm saying it is a corner of this industry that is a corner of this industry, and that's something that is potentially newsworthy.
Valentina had something to pipe. She says that also book trailers are made really poorly. They're like the Rebecca Black's Friday of music videos.
No, there are some good book trailers out there. Here's another thing. Readers, right? People who read books, like, it's like, why would you advertise to them with video? You know,
Right.
It's not really like, people don't go to YouTube when they're looking for a book. Like, you want to hit people with marketing where they're looking.
Because I read, and ironically, next week we're doing like a spring cleaning, and where I'm going to be getting rid of probably the vast majority of my hard books, because I've been reading books on Kindle in digital form now, because it's just cleaner. I don't have to, you know what I mean? I don't have to lug something around and whatnot, and so that's the irony of it. And whenever I look for books, I'm looking for them online and stuff. But not on video places. I'm going on Kindle. I'm checking reviews, stuff like that. That's it. But this is interesting, and this is kind of related, actually. A big part of I don't know if you guys are familiar with the show Bosch, B-O-S-C-H. It's on Amazon, and part of what got that, it's actually based on a book series about a detective named Bosch who's in the Los Angeles area. Now that show got picked up and greenlit, and there's some people that at least that I know that are in the show and a part of the show, and I didn't know what was going on with it, but I didn't really know when I first saw the show. And the first episode, I think, is actually really good, and it got me really intrigued in this character and whatnot. But it's based on a book series. Mm-hmm. Amazon is putting it up. So they're putting the money, and the money that they're, whatever, if they're making the money off of it, that's only part of it. It's actually, what's happening is because of the popularity of the show, it is actually helping the sales of the book, and so they're making the money that way as well. And I think that's really an very, very interesting, smart sort of evolution of content creation and greenlighting, and that's like, this is part of what our world is turning out to.
I've always said that if I ever get access to somebody at Amazon, like if I ever get my own rep, or if I ever get approached by one of their traditional publishing houses, because Amazon has their own publishing arms, I would actually sign a publishing deal with Amazon if it meant that they would also develop the series that I wrote into
and that's entirely possible nowadays. That's what's so interesting.
I mean, people are writing books these days in order to be turned into films.
What are you doing to your mic?
You're playing with your phone while you're talking.
Sorry.
It's fantastic.
I didn't mean to play with my mic. Okay, I'm done playing with my mic while I'm talking.
Thank you.
Sorry.
It's like you're punching me in the ear.
Oh, that's what watching a Pixar film is like for me.
Oh my God, that's insane. Why do you want? You're insane. One other thing.
Right now, it's fine.
One other thing, before we move away from the book trailers, I want to say that Valentina says even The Fault in Our Stars trailer is lame as F whatever. I can say fuck. I don't know why she can't type it. I don't know why she can't type it.
You're a grown-ass man.
It was made by a high schooler. The irony is, though, I never saw the book trailer, but the trailer for the movie was like one of the most seen videos on. I mean, it was like it had an unbelievable amount of views, like more than I had seen almost any trailer at the time. But
you can take Valentina's words very seriously there, because she, as well as I, is like one of the biggest John Green fans in the world. So when we see his book trailer and are like, this sucks, there's no, like, that's despite all of our fanishness.
While we're talking about Valentina, I urge you, Valentina. I saw the she's starting to do music video reviews, and I saw the first one, and I wish she would finish the first one, because it is good. It was hilarious, and it's really good, and it gets really into. I don't even want to talk about it any more than that, but please, Valentina, finish it, because I really want this to go live. Anyway, I want to talk about Sling TV. This is
let's do it.
This is Dish Network's sort of solution to HBO Go, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, what they did is they took Dish took 17 of their channels and put them online. What's all that? I don't know what's going on. Maybe, okay, thank you, Michelle. I don't know, maybe, all right. Anyway, so they took 17 of their channels, AMC, ESPN, TNT, TBS, a bunch of these different channels. I talked about it last week, and they made them available for $20 a month online. So I bought it. Of course, I had to check it out, and it's actually pretty solid. It's like installing a cable box in your computer that has only 17 channels. But if you like those channels, especially if you like ESPN and ESPN2, you can watch them live anytime. There is, on some of these channels, they actually do have the ability to do on demand, but by and large, really what it is you're actually watching what's live on that channel at that time. That's kind of how Sling TV works. So it's a little obviously more limited than people are interested in. They want to see stuff that's on demand. And again, some of these channels have a limited amount of content that's available on demand, but it is for people who are trying to cut the cable, who are trying to cut the cord and want to get off the cable box. You can have right now ESPN, ESPN2 for $20 a month plus a bunch of other stuff.
Now,
you can all go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, I was just going to say another piece of interesting data for people who are considering this and talking and who don't necessarily watch on their computer, because I know that's what you do, Chad. But I watch to a streaming stick on my TV. It looks like I just looked it up. Sling TV. Sling TV does the Amazon Fire Stick, which I now have,
and Roku,
but they do not do Chromecast. So that's
that's yes and no. I mean, because the thing is anything that you can get on your device, Chromecast still. I mean, it's still in beta. Like everything on Chrome is in beta. You can do. You can basically mirror. So it doesn't anything you can
from
get
your computer.
Yes, exactly. From your computer, from your device, anything you can get on your device, which means that if you can get Sling TV on your device, then through Chromecast. Right
no,
away,
that's not necessarily true. The way Chromecasts work is you have to have.
I've done it many times, so I know. Well, I've done it with whatever I play on the device.
But with what app? That's the thing. Like
through,
I have a certain. I have a
through Chromecast's mirroring.
Okay.
If you see it on your device, it mirrors straight onto your TV through Chromecast mirroring. Like I said, the mirroring feature is beta, but it is available.
Is that new? Because
it's very new. It was working as of Christmas, and I've tried it. It hasn't been flawless. Like I've been messing around with it to see if we could screen some of the things that we do at just within the past couple months. And on the thing that it would take like 10 minutes before it would actually start to appear on the thing. But when I was doing it over Christmas, it was working fine. So
they're crappy about promoting that because I have literally never heard of this.
Well, it's still in beta is why. It's still in beta. I mean, and it says that if you try this, recognize it's in beta. So which means that it could be like as of this minute, they may have turned it off to tweak it a little bit more. But it is something that they're working on, and it is something that that is, anyway. Anyway, that's all. I think it's really interesting. I think that if you're a sports guy and you are eager to get off, and you have Roku, I mean, listen, or a Fire Stick. The Fire Stick's only like $50, isn't it? $40.
40.
Huge joke.
$40, yeah. Always, everywhere.
This is my Fire Stick.
Yes.
And you're looking to get off if you're a sports fan.
So anyway, I think it's worth checking out. If you like TNT, TBS, Mr. Robot I think it's on TNT. It looks like a really good show. I just saw like the first half of the pilot, and that's a really cool show. But check it out if you're looking to cut the cable. There you have it. Cut the cord.
Fantastic. In other news, I have an update. Last week I told you guys that I had finished Unsaid. Yay! It's ready for distribution, and YouTube is still holding up approval of the video. God damn it!
Why?
I don't know. So I've talked, as I've mentioned on the show. For anybody who doesn't remember, I am planning on distributing the video on YouTube. At least in the beginning, that's all we're going to put it. Like we're just going to do it, see how it does. Maybe consider putting it elsewise. Like I don't want to sign up for a Vimeo Pro account, honestly. Like I don't want to have to pay to distribute my film paid when there's so many other solutions to do it for free. But here's the thing. I was like, great, let's do it on YouTube. YouTube has a really low threshold. I have 1,200 subscribers and I'm allowed to put paid content on. I don't even know what the minimum threshold is, but that's great. But when I uploaded the film and I put it on, I said, make this paid. 99-cent rental, $2.99 purchase is like the standard YouTube price. It's been over a week now. I have no idea when the film's going to be ready. It's still waiting to be approved. There's no estimated time of completion, and they don't give a time estimate. And meanwhile, while it's being approved, I can't show it to anybody. Like, I would love to show it to the cast and the crew. But while it's in the approval process, it's unavailable, and nobody can watch it. And I can't upload a separate unlisted version for the cast and crew to watch because then YouTube sees that as a duplicate upload. So everything.
Can you put it separately on Vimeo on private?
Yes, except the film is way too big, and to get it under the 500 megabyte limit, I have to like compress it so bad that it's like.
You only have 500 megabytes?
Yeah, because I don't pay for Vimeo. I
don't ship it to me. I'll post it on mine. I have a paid Vimeo.
Oh, that's a great idea. Actually, yeah. I will.
Dropbox it to me, and I'll host it for you.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Thanks, dude. Because I want to give it to the cast and crew. It's done. It's
this
like
is how we make movies works, people. We work together. We share accounts.
I wish we had a theme song. I'd be playing it right now.
We make films.
So this is annoying, but in terms of perspective for YouTube. It's something to consider if you want to put paid content up on YouTube, but I remember the first time I ever put ads on a video. It took YouTube a couple of days to approve them, but now that I have published over 500 videos on my channel, I click make it paid, and like within an hour or two, the ads are there. It puts them up actually right away, and then it approves them within a couple of hours, and it's just all good. So it might be a thing where like you put up your first paid, thing, and then you do it a few more times, and YouTube's like, okay, he's good. Like you get out of a probationary period. I don't know. I'll keep updating, but if anybody has any advice or information, I would love to hear from you in the comments because I can't find anything helpful online. So there you go.
Yeah.
Michelle, tell us about drones.
Oh, okay. So I'm newly obsessed with drones. I took my students. I have some dance students. I teach dance. I took them to the So You Think You Can Dance auditions last weekend. Got there at 3:30 in the morning and waited in line on the street, and it was fun and hilarious. But anyway, so we were at the very front of the line, and we get up to the front, in front of the theater, and then all of a sudden there's this like drone, this like badass drone, like going over the crowd, and like, oh, I'm like watching it, and I'm watching the guy like that's moving it around, and they're like having fun. And I'm like, oh, I want to see this. It's so awesome. It's like a huge crowd of like kids. Like the kids don't know what the fuck the drone is. Like, it's just, they're like, ooh, what's that? Who's flying a remote control airplane? Right? But anyway, so from there I started, like, doing a little, like, drone research and stuff. Are you laughing at me?
I just doubt that's true. I'm sure that they know what that is.
You think because, like...
your kids didn't know what that was.
No, my kids knew what it was, because my kids go to Relativity. So my kids are they're freaking running their own drones on the film lot. No, there's a lot of these that they're like, ooh, what's that? Anyway, so apparently there's this like, excuse me, there's this new drone like app situation. It's called Ares, A-R-E-S. I don't know if it's Ares or Ares, whatever. And there's a Kickstarter for it. It's a drone app that you can like draw. You can physically like draw the path of your drone like on a map, and it just goes where it tells you to. And like it's got like all of these like it abides by like FAA regulations. Like so, if you happen to like draw a flight path through like a no-fly zone, the app will be like, you can't go. And it keeps an eye on like weather conditions and like when FAA changes regulations, it like updates it and like all their drone shit. It's my birthday. I want a drone. So if anybody's listening, I want one, please.
You could probably get one for. I mean, they're not insanely expensive. My brother has one. I mean, he bought it used from a good friend of ours, but it's. Is
it under $50?
It's not under $50.
Okay, so
I mean, I think there is a.
Can somebody buy me a drone?
There's a toy one you can get, but it won't have like a camera on it or anything, No. But there's. Sorry, but it is interesting. It's really Womp womp. That is cool. I want to check that out because that sounds really That sounds really cool. I would love to.
If you go to their Kickstarter, it has like a video of how it works and all that stuff.
We shot some stuff on a drone with a guy that we use a lot, Bruce Birnbaum, and he because I needed some footage for this film that I'm working on, and it's amazing. It's really incredible. Like, it's just to think like 5 years ago, what was it? Yeah, 2010. We were shooting this thing on an HD cam. Maybe it was a little sooner. Maybe it was 2009 or something. We shot this piece on an HD cam. At the time, it was like a $100,000 camera, and it shot video, the same video that you could get now on a freaking phone. I mean, if anyone was going to tell me we were going to be shooting from a freaking helicopter, you know what I mean, from a mini helicopter today, I would have been like, no, you're out of your mind, you know. And it's amazing. I'm constantly amazed by the speed that technology moves, you know.
It's pretty awesome. It's pretty damn awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait to do my first drone shoot. I have been on a couple of shoots with drones, but like I've never worked with you, obviously, on a drone shoot, obviously, Chad. But I've seen people use them just for like stuff that I'm just like, really? Like, you could have done the same thing with like a boom, you know, as opposed and like a 12-foot boom.
But it's not
literally
fun.
Well, this one wasn't. This one isn't. And when you see this, it's like we're like above, way up in the sky, looking over this college, you know.
And that's what I'm talking about. I'm like, yeah, do that shit. That's awesome. But,
yeah, it's pretty incredible. And he's an amazing, because he was a professional pilot for a while.
Nice.
So I'm gonna move on, but I'm not gonna talk about. You guys are probably gonna be like, "What are you talking about?" Because that's not what you said you were gonna talk about. I changed my mind last minute. I actually want to talk about. We were shooting. I just realized we didn't talk about this, but we were shooting a film yesterday. Garrett wasn't on it, but Michelle came and she helped. She was helping to produce it. Kendall was the main producer on it, but Michelle helped out a lot, and she also played a key role on it. And it was.
Chad, you didn't even invite me. I mean, I couldn't have made it, but.
It was. First of all, I just wanted to talk. I just want to talk about it because it was my first time co-directing with a co-director that I'm hoping to co-direct with more, Art Chong, and it was. You know, he also wrote the piece, so that was a little interesting in the beginning because we were trying to, as I was, you know, basically as a director, there are specific things that I like to focus on, and the reason I wanted to work with a co-director was that, you know, I'm no spring chicken, and I know that I was an actor for such a long period of time that I'm really, really, you know, experienced at a particular thing. And working with actors and dealing with actors and knowing how actors do what they do. So that gives me a specific kind of insight into actors. Hi, Patrick. I want to give him a little look like you just did. Just wave to him. You're ridiculous. Can he hear me?
You're muted.
No, he cannot hear you. No.
Okay, all right.
This is what just arrived.
Oh, this.
Birthday lunch.
And it says
It's
that's what's
caramelized onions and mac and like some kind of fettuccine Alfredo situation. So.
Oh my goodness, that's fantastic.
That was what that was about.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, it was, I have certain skill set and I know that at my age that to get to the skill level in all the other facets of directing that I would love to be at already, it's just gonna take me a lot of time. And you know, let's not talk turkey. There's a certain amount of ageism in this town. I mean, there's an incredible amount of let's be honest. There's an incredible amount of ageism in this town. If I were 20 years old with my current skill set, I'd have no problems. But I'm not. And I'm 43 years old. So it's, you know, nobody's gonna, if I was incredible right now, it'd be fine. You know what I mean? But for me to have my current skill set to actually book commercial work and to book, you know, and to get paid, I basically have to do it myself. And if I have something really good and successful, no one's going to care how old I am. I could be 72 years old. No one's going to care. But because I'm, you know, because I'm not where I am, I have to put a situation like this. And Art was great to work with, and I had probably more fun yesterday on set than I've had on on set as a director ever, and art was obviously a big part of that. I mean, he freed me up to do that. He's also an amazing artist. So when he drew the storyboards, they were great, and he did a lot of the forethought into. So then when I did the shot designs afterwards, obviously he had already kind of figured it out, so it was easy for me to do that. I was just kind of doing what he said we were going to do. But then, of course, it was my job to get the very specific performances out of the actors that we needed to pull off the script, which was, to be fair, what's that? Oh, no. No, you were fantastic. But it is honestly this type of script, any sort of like I don't know, I can't remember what you call them when it's like but it's like you're watching detectives working in a certain, anyway, that procedural, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Any kind of procedural, it's really, really easy for it to come off very SVU. You know what I mean? It's very easy for it to come off like gimmicky, glib, and not at all have any depth whatsoever. But the capability, like what I saw, the potential in the script, put it more towards True Detective in terms of what we could pull off if we did it right. And so that's where my attention went. That's where I wanted to get these directors. And I think that we have it in the can for that. We worked really hard. We had rehearsals with the two leads, and with Michelle as well, although we had a very limited amount of time, unfortunately, with Michelle. And we'll see hopefully very soon. I'm hoping to screen this piece in WMM Fest, by the way, which we can talk about in community news later. But we're hoping to screen it then, so people will hopefully be able to see it. But we'll see what it looks like. I'm really excited. Thank you, by the way, Michelle, for being a part of it. If anybody else is listening or watching this who was a part of it, thank you guys so much. Every single person who came and helped was extremely helpful and instrumental, and I'm excited to see how this piece turns out. And I pray that Art is going to want to continue with this in the future. I don't know if he was as happy as I was about it. I can't tell how much of it. There's no threat at all, by the way, that he will ever listen to this, because he will never listen to this.
Never.
So I can say whatever the hell I want. But
Valentina is texting him right now. Art, you got to listen to this.
But even if somebody said Chad went in depth on your relationship, trust me, he will never listen to this. I just know. So I can say whatever. The good news is I have absolutely nothing bad to say about him, but I do know that he, at least last night, was not really. He expressed the feeling that he did all the work and I got to have all the fun. And I don't think that that's entirely accurate, and I don't even necessarily think that he deep down believes that that's necessarily the truth. But I think that one thing I know, he's not going to want to he's not going to want to be the director of photography as well as the co-director on a piece in the future. But I think that if we can work on this, it's going to be really exciting, because he's really good at some things. And I know I'm really, really good at a very particular thing as well. So anyway, by the way, just before we move on from this topic, because I know we don't really need to talk about it, Valentina said there is sorry, let me try to post it. Okay, there is reverse ageism in this town as well. Not as much.
Oh, so sad, Valentina.
Nowhere near as much, and the good news is you're going to get older. We are not going to get younger. So there you have it.
The only time I've seen like really, really intense reverse ageism is I had a boss with a daughter who was 14 but looked like she could easily be 16, 17, or even 18, just because she grew so tall so early. And she, like, every time, she can only play 17 or 18-year-olds, right? But why wouldn't you just hire a 17 or 18-year-old? Because you can't have a 14-year-old right on set for more than like 4 hours a day. It's just like when you. But beyond that, yeah, I don't know. But what do we know? We're all like
we're all old fogies. What do we know? I was young too, in this town, and it's not the same. And the thing is, you know, I think that you are going to be our age. We are not going to be your age. So. You know what I mean? You're going to get past it, but the fact is that the opportunities, like people, when somebody even half succeeds and they're young, they get twice as much kudos, twice as much credit. You know what I mean? They really do, and everyone will want to sign them, and everyone will want to work with them, and it is what it. You know, a good friend of mine, really, really, really funny, and did really well. She was on SNL, and then she gets replaced 2 months in by a younger version of herself.
Right.
And the other girl's funny too, but she's not as funny. I won't mention names. I don't want to, But anyway, that I can't tell you that was anything but ageism.
It's many, many aspects of life.
Yeah.
Michelle, why don't you tell us about Kickstarter, because we are running a little long here.
Yeah. Just really quickly, just to check out, Kickstarter's rolled out a new thing called Spotlight. It's a new design option for the project pages. What it does is it's simple. It's like Facebook's timeline. You know how it like puts all the things that you've done. But Spotlight turns your Kickstarter backwards. So it's like the reverse story of your of the making of your project, like chronologically. So it's like the project development and then, successful funding, hopefully, and the afterlife. So you can organize your updates and milestones in the form of, like, you can have a clean narrative scroll, and then it continues to tell the story, like, after your campaign ends, which is awesome, because it makes Kickstarter, like, more of a, I guess, like, what they call stickier site. Because you stay on, like, you funded the project, and they're like, oh, where'd it go? And like, oh, there it is. More traffic for Kickstarters, but it also makes it worthwhile because filmmakers can, post updates, like a call to action, like, hey guys, it's up, send it to all your friends, and here's the new website, or here's the Twitter, here's the Facebook. You can sell merchandise or like copies of your film. So I think it's a really good idea. I think Kickstarter is like still kicking. So good job, Kickstarter.
Also, definitely still kicking.
No, they're especially. Have you guys seen where WhatChacall ended? Where the Pebble ended? Like ridiculous.
Oh no! How much?
Yeah. Actually, I don't. It just ended like 2 days ago, so I didn't check up. But hold that thought. I will find out and get back to you.
I'm looking at some Spotlight projects right now on the Kickstarter, and the Spotlight is really cool and really pretty, but I think it's too pretty to be completely functional. I'd be interested to see how it looks on mobile, because I feel like people are going to want to browse this kind of content on mobile more than on the desktop.
20 million.
Jesus.
20.3 million. They destroyed.
And Kickstarter collects a very nice 5% of that. Well done.
Well, no, I think it's. Is it 5%? Did they take 5?
Isn't it? Yeah,
maybe it is. Maybe it is. Oh my goodness! But I'm sure they cut a deal with them.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, because they were the second. I'm sure they were like, "Listen, we're gonna go to you." I mean, maybe they didn't, but I bet they did.
They probably
did. Because why else would WhatChacall have gone to IndieGogo? Who's the one that's come on, Super Troopers 2? I guarantee you IndieGogo cut them a deal. You guys know Super Troopers?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I know Super Troopers. I didn't know Super Troopers 2 was
Super Troopers 2 is on IndieGogo right now. And I was like, when I heard that, and they're doing well, I think they passed their target a long time ago. But they are, they're, like, I was thinking, why would they have gone to IndieGogo instead? I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. That seems.
Oh, my God. What? Kickstarter campaign, this butter knife. I want this butter knife. Butter.
Wow, this is how it happens. People.
Sorry.
This is how it happens.
I'll get back to the show. Let's be professional.
But they have really cool. They've raised $3 million. They were looking for $2 million. They've raised $3 million in 5 days. So
wow.
Yeah.
People should go check out some Spotlight projects. See how I think it looks really great, and I would love, as a creator, I would love to post stuff on that. If I wasn't.
Well, for the record, Super Troopers is on IndieGogo.
Right. Yeah. But since the segment was about Spotlight, you should go check out Spotlight projects. Cool.
Better segue next time. I'm just correcting your segue.
I said segment. I said people should go look up Spotlight projects. For God's sake.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Okay.
Never mind. Moving on.
Garrett, do you have something to say?
Ted loves to nitpick our segues. That's his thing.
He sure does.
I'm a showman. What do you want?
It's only because we jump in with segues when your segments
I was talking about Super Trooper.
Maybe you've gone a little long on a certain topic, and we're trying to get off onto the next topic. And
but you did. You could have done it better.
It's like I could have made the segue that made sense, 5 minutes ago.
I was talking about Super Troopers on IndieGogo, and you're like, no lube, spotlight.
Yes.
I'm like,
hey, some people like it that way. Okay.
Maybe you can just segue yourself next time.
Yeah, but he could have at least spit on it.
That's incredible.
Wow, it went there, Garrett.
So we
what are you spitting on in Austin?
We've trimmed. What aren't I spitting on in Austin? So we'll end with this one. We had to trim a little bit today, but we'll give it to you next week. Today I booked. Which, by the way, is a point of discussion for the podcast itself. Today I booked my trip to Austin. I'm going for another self-publishing summit. It's on the weekend of the 18th, so I will be in Austin that weekend, so we most likely will not have a show. I mean, if we did, I wouldn't be there. So
all about you, isn't it, huh?
Well, no, that's right. Whatever. So, but I actually booked a trip, and for the first time in my life, I did it with, like, miles, airline miles, and hotel points, and like the whole deal. You know what I mean? And that's the first time I've ever done that, and I felt very much like an adult. But I remembered while I did that, I remember that one of the first reasons that I loved filmmaking was I was on a documentary film that traveled all over the U.S. and up into Canada, and that was awesome. I freaking love travel, and I know people say you get burned out. Maybe I'd get burned out if I did it literally all the time, but I travel a good amount, and I've never gotten burned out on it. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I haven't traveled very much for filmmaking other than that documentary film. Actually, I kind of have. I went and I made a feature film a couple hours north of L.A., and then I went to Haiti for 3 weeks doing some documentary filmmaking down there. But I think that filmmaking is different things to different people, and I think it actually can be a lot of it can be what you want it to be out of it. Do you like travel? Book jobs that travel internationally or at least around the U.S. I know lots of people who are always out of town filming stuff. Like my friend Rob Filios is always out of town making some movie. He's been hired in Latin America and all across the U.S. and Canada. He just goes frickin' everywhere, and that's sort of his film career. I've never even known how to have a film career like that. Ambika travels all over the frickin' world. She's in Budapest like every other goddamn week. Not really, but she's there a lot.
Yeah.
You want to be socially conscious and active. You become a documentary filmmaker and you highlight important issues, whatever issue is really important to you. Chad, you've done some work with that, with your with Hawaiian heritage and all that sort of thing. And have you actually made documentary content on stuff like that?
We started to, and Kendall actually posted one. It was just of a speech, and I'm trying to edit it down to something that's a little bit more palatable. It's like an hour 40 right now of just a dude talking, which is fascinating material, but it's an hour 40 of a dude talking. So
right.
But it's not. Documentaries are really not my thing in general, to be honest with you.
Sure, but I mean, you can make socially conscious films. I mean, last week we talked about Chappie. That has its own element, and of course, District 9 was even way, way more so, and Elysium was way more so to the point where people felt like it was too much. But you can even make big budget films that are, socially active.
I'm sorry, but are we talking about travel, or are we talking about socially conscious?
I'm saying it can be whatever you want. I'm saying you can make films that are your method of being, like, you can make films like Selma and 12 Years a Slave that like highlight issues, or you can make films that don't people say that like Adam Sandler's career these days is get a bunch of friends, travel someplace that he wants to vacation, and make a film there. Like that, people seem to think, I don't know if it's true, but that's like his excuse to make movies nowadays, is like, I want to go to Tahiti, so he goes and makes that, well,
I have an obscene amount of experience traveling, but
right.
but it was because doing Stomp when I was on the road constantly, and that was, and I'll be honest, it was a lot of fun. the first 6 months. Second 6 months, it was still fun, but it was, I mean, the first 6 months, it was like a dream.
Right.
Second 6 months, it was still fun. Third 6 months, it was like getting a little tired, and by the fourth 6 months, like I was falling apart. Like my body was falling apart. Just eating the crappy food, and I was not living a good life in general, you know. But you actually, when you're on the road constantly, it's a lonely life. Like, it's lonely. Like, you'd think that you'd be meeting all these people, but the thing is everybody that you're meeting for the first time every week. So it can actually get lonely if you're doing it a really long time. Now, going on location for a long period of time and being someplace, that's a different can of worms, I would imagine. Because
that's what I think is amazing, is you can have so many different experiences in successful film careers and indie film careers. You can travel, you can stay in one place and just be very active in a certain aspect of society, or you can have like a party lifestyle. And what's funny is that everybody thinks that, oh, the Hollywood party lifestyle is like only for the people who have really made it, and they go to these big Hollywood things and da 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 da. We know people. Some of us, Michelle, you've been to parties that, like, were considered high upper class, Hollywood elite or whatever. It doesn't happen every Friday, but it happens.
Yeah, but you have to be, willing to work while you're doing it. I mean, I've done a lot of teaching and guest lecturing and stuff like that in places that have taken me to some fabulous, wonderful, I mean, Sydney, Kenya, I generally, if I'm going somewhere, then I'll try to book work so I can A, write it off, or B, pay for offset the cost of doing it. But also at the same time, that just kind of like makes your vacation a little bit like. I worked for Carnival for their cruise ship website for a while, so they would send me on cruises, and all I had to do was like host some segments while I was on the cruise, and then just lay by the pool the rest of the time.
And I think that's just really awesome. And I think that a lot of people think that an artistic career, when they think of an artistic career, they tend to just think about the art. And of course, that's what the career part of it is. That's what your work is. But you can turn a film career into so many different things, into so many different opportunities, and like what you want to do with your life. Whereas, like, I just don't think those opportunities exist if you're an accountant, like, not exactly the same thing, I don't think. So I loved it. I loved having that whole thought process and that realization. I like film. I like movies.
Can I jump back to Super Troopers for 1 second, really quick?
Yeah, sure.
Because Kendall just posted this, maybe Super Troopers 2 had to do with the IndieGogo Vimeo deal. And actually, before I saw that comment, I didn't actually know what she was talking about. So I looked it up, and it looks really interesting. It looks like Vimeo and IndieGogo have done a really interesting thing. Obviously, that happened back in January, and this just posted recently. So I would doubt that they would have influenced it as much as they saw it and maybe wanted to benefit from it, which they probably did, and I would be surprised if they had not. But it is, if you don't know, I know we don't have a lot of time to go over this IndieGogo Vimeo deal, but it does look really cool. It looks like Vimeo is they're looking to commit like $1 million, it says, in matching funds for certain IndieGogo film campaigns in 2015.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
wow.
They're going to check it out. I will post the link on the website. Make sure we post the link on the website. Definitely on the YouTube channel as well. So check it out. IndieGogo Vimeo partnership looks really interesting.
Yeah,
well, that's awesome, and good luck to anybody who goes for that. If you do get that, let us know. We might want to talk to you about it on the show.
Yeah.
So we will head towards the end of the show here. As always, we end with community news. This Wednesday is the We Make Movies Writers Workshop, which is our premiere event. You should definitely come by if you can. 7:30 p.m. at the Theater Asylum in Hollywood. We would love to see you there. It's the Writers Workshop where writers bring in material. It is read by actors within the community and then commented on by the rest of the community. If you've been watching live on YouTube or if you listen to the iTunes feed, please pop over to iTunes and rate the show. Ratings and reviews help us get discovered by other people. It's very awesome of you when you do that. You're a good person if you do that.
Yes.
If you don't do that, I don't know.
Wow.
I maybe wouldn't let you go out with my cousin.
You don't do that. You might be somebody who doesn't like animated films.
You mean a Nazi?
And finally, We Make Movies is, so far as we can tell, the only completely community-funded film collective in the world, and that happens through Patreon. I'm so good at it now. That happens through Patreon.com, which is a crowdfunding website where you can essentially fund a artistic endeavor, or any endeavor really, over an extended period of time. If you go to patreon.com/WeMakeMovies, you can check out the campaign there. All of our events, all of our everything that the group does for its members is paid for completely by the community, which is really fantastic. And every dollar above, 70 cents of every dollar?
70 cents of every dollar, basically, yes, of every dollar that is now given goes automatically into our rolling production fund.
Oh, so 70% of every dollar is what's above.
We're already well above the drop dead amount. So everything that is 70% of every single dollar that's given.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Goes into a rolling production.
Yes.
Yeah, it goes into a rolling production amount, rolling production account that is going to be used to fund a bunch of short films, right?
Well, no, just one short film now that's going to get $5,000 once we hit that amount.
So we're gonna survey every time we.
Yes.
Okay, so we did a survey. Sorry, everybody's like, Chad and I are talking. It seems like in code to the audience, I'm sure. When we started accumulating a rolling production fund, when we made that stretch goal, we surveyed the members and we said, what do you want to fund first? And they said, we want to fund a short film for $5,000. So once that money is there, we'll have a whole community selection process. We'll do the film, whatever we're going to do to choose and make that film, and then we're going to do another survey and say, what do you want to do next? Do you want to do a web series, a feature film, et cetera, et cetera? So that's just fucking awesome.
Also, FYI, for the record, little known fact.
Fucking awesome.
70% of every dollar that is made basically moving forward by We Make Movies, unless it's already pre-allocated to something very specific. But 70% of everything like donated to us, we're not a nonprofit, so you won't get anything tax deductible, but is going to go straight into that rolling production fund. So for instance, every year in June we do WMM Fest, which is our mini film festival. It always makes us some money. It's not a ton of money, but it always makes us some money. Every penny of profit from that, now profit, like obviously expenses after expenses, is going to go into that. So our rolling production fund could take a big jump in June, and is probably going to take a big jump in June. The money that goes into that account does not just, I don't know what that laugh was about.
Sorry,
but I'm sure.
Your audio in my headphones cut out for a sec, so it sounded like our production fund is going to take a big dump in June. It was kind of amazing. It's kind of amazing.
It's gonna make a big jump, and by the way, one last thing about it too. We're actually only 2 days away from the end of March, and all of our memberships are handled on a month-by-month basis. So if you want to, and we don't even know, it sometimes happens very last minute, but if you want to benefit from anything that might happen during April, you should sign up within the next couple days, so that otherwise you'll have to wait until May. And the people that are going to, once we open up submissions for these short films, we're only going to be opening the submissions up to members, and probably we're still trying to figure it out, but it's probably going to be a little bit different in terms of the voting moving forward as well. Only members are going to be able to vote as well, is probably what it's going to be, because that's only fair. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
All right, so that's Patreon. We'll hope you check it out. Patreon.com/WeMakeMovies. We end, as always, with things to know, and I have the first one. I have a new gaming show every Saturday night at 9 p.m. Pacific time, where I hang out with some fellow indie authors. We play video games. We talk about our books. It's good fun. You can check it out at twitch.tv/FortinBuff. And I'm also writing again on my YouTube channel, Vlog a Novel. So if you check out either one of those online channels, I'd very much appreciate it. Chad?
Yes, Mark.
I actually have Michelle, why don't you go first, if that's okay? I have a few different things I don't want to.
It's my birthday. I want a drone. I want a drone.
Okay.
Wow.
I'll buy you a margarita. Will that do?
And then we'll throw it and attach a GoPro. It'll be fun.
Just throw it at the wall. A very short flight. Happy birthday, Michelle. I actually have a few quick things. We just had sort of an operations meeting earlier today, and there's some very, very, very interesting developments that are coming this year. I'll just say this: virtual reality. I know it sounds weird. I know it sounds like something from like a 1980s, I don't know, Tron knockoff, but believe it or not, there's some very interesting developments that are happening. Sam has another project that he's working on. Just check it out. Keep your eye out for it. It's really, really interesting. It's probably not going to come out until like the later on this year, the beginning of next year, but it's the kind of thing that could really, really jump We Make Movies up to basically a status, very interesting status that could be really cool and provide a ton of opportunities for everybody that's part of the membership. So sign up, become a part of this group. It's a really good time to become a part of We Make Movies. Couple other super quick things. ArcLight Culver City is about to open. If you're a fan of the ArcLight movie theaters, they are opening one in Culver City by the end. They're already selling tickets, even though, and I've been by it many times because it's like moments from here. I could walk there. It's like a 20-minute walk from here, but I'm there on my bike in like 5 minutes. And it's great. It's one of the best. It's like the only place I go see movies. I love it. And they're
I never go to the ArcLight because I heard they showed the Lego movie when it came out. So on moral grounds, I don't ever go to the.
I'm all about the iPick. I'm gonna lay in a recliner and get some cocktails delivered.
Yes, iPick is fantastic. It's a little bit pricey for my blood, but anywho, that's it.
Well,
that's all.
if you don't go see every POS animated film, then you can afford it.
And on that note, I'm going to very quickly end off the We Make Movies Film Geeks podcast. Thanks as always to my wonderful co-hosts. We have a lot of fun on this show. Too much, maybe. Too much. I'm Garrett Robinson. You can find me at GarrettBRobinson.com. Chad is at SuperFreako.com.
Feel like I'm naked.
Michelle at Twitter at MLukadu. Wish her a happy birthday, please.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Sue.
Goodbye.